Okay. Check, check. Checking chickens. We're good to go. All right, let's get in the game. Let's get started. What's up, everyone? My name is Britt. Welcome to Wicked Minis. How's everyone doing on this Sunday? I'm hoping, like I said, I put part 2 on this part of Vulkanistan. I really hope that I can actually just finish this model today, and then I have to start working on the base and everything for this dude to fit. What's up, Devon? You're working right now? Okay. But yeah, so then we'll be working on this one here. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome, welcome. But yeah, we'll be working on that one a little later, but we gotta get Vulkanistan done here. And then now that everything's pretty much set, it crackled relatively good. I like the crackles. I wish it crackled more for the base. Boom Boom said hello. Hey, what's up? Hello? So we're gonna sit here and keep working on this, get the cape going and everything else. We're just gonna keep on working up the scales, start going back into the flames and stuff and getting them all set. And then we got his head and his backpack still to do, and then give the whole thing a wash. We just did the crackle paste on the last workout that we did, and then it goes on like a cream, like a cream consistency on here, and then when it dries it starts cracking like crazy. So I thought that looked pretty good, so we'll do that. Start working on the rest of this cape. We'll start working on getting this thing done, and then I can fix then I can work on the head and the backpack, and then we'll be done from there. Not bad, not bad. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna need a little bit of cold black, start laying this thing down and start getting things going here. We got quite a bit to work on here. Ah, it doesn't look that bad, right, Sarah Elizabeth? Doesn't look bad at all. And then it'll look kind of like, when things are done, it'll look somewhat like Adrax here. All right, let's get things going. Start dropping colors and start painting this thing. Let's see how far we can finish up, because after we're done with this, then we're gonna be switching gears, working on Emperor's Children. I got Demon Prince and Fulgrim to paint. So we filled all these big giant cracks in here. I'm just over painting the crack that we had. I filled it all the last stream, so it'd be all nice and dry and we can start working with it. Now I'm just covering up that putty paste that we put in there. Yeah, your feet were hurting at the end, I can imagine. That seems like that was the big kicker on me too, when doing tournaments and stuff. Being on your feet the whole entire time. Perfect. Painted it all, looks nice and smooth, I love it. Looks good. Let's do this one. This is the other one that needs a little extra love here. You gotta say a backpack goes on here as well. Lunch is over, absolutely. Have a good rest of your day at work. See how far we'll get on this miniature. I'm hoping to be almost completely done, because then we gotta work on this wrap prints for the end of the month of February giveaway. So we gotta start designing. Gubby, I appreciate it. Painting the figure, but did you make the actual figure? No, I did not make the actual figure. The actual figures, this is actually a really giant tabletop game. And it's from Games Workshop. And they do like sci-fi like this for Warhammer 40,000. And then they got like Warhammer Fantasy like Age of Sigmar. And they normally come on little sprues like this. So you buy them and they come on sprues. And then you have to clip them out, scrape them up, glue them all together. And then prime them all up, and then they'll look like this. So they're like kits. And then you build up a whole bunch of them, and then you'll have, and then you make little armies, and then you play on a big tabletop. Big tabletop board game. It's probably one of my favorite things for pastimes. I do other things too, like I wish I had them on me. I gave away all my busts and stuff, but like I got little miniature busts and stuff like that that we'll eventually get to down the road. This one here and the one that I finished up, this Adrax. All these ones are all commissions that I'm painting up for one of my viewers. And then getting these things all up and done, and then I have to work on this one afterwards, and then after that, I still got 2 more commissions I gotta do. And we got like a big demon prince. So I got the big demon prints that we're going to be doing for one of my viewers as well. And then the other one's like in 3 different pieces, but it's a lot larger of a miniature. And we'll be painting these ones on stream too. We're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. You have to do dishes you don't want to? I hear you loud and clear on that. I don't like doing it either. All right, first things up, we're gonna sit here and start working with some dark golden brown. All right, so this thing has like a fold flap over top of the cape. Make sure that I got it. Like that. So this thing looks like it kind of has an extra fold on the cape over top of where the scales are, which is interesting. We're gonna paint these up. Get all the base colors on. And he actually has like another parody seal. We'll paint that too. Right here. These are like honorary emblems that get stamped on them for some heroic feature that they did in their lore. And they get issued one of these markings of heroism or you know, an objective accomplishment or whatever on the miniatures. That's what those are for. And then these guys are called, well, they're Space Bros, but Space Bros are broken down in multiple different kind of. That's our man, kudos. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, so these guys are normally from Space Marine faction, but then there's a bunch of different chapters of them. They're broken up into like 18 of them. And you can, they're kind of like different color schemes. Sometimes they got some different leaders that are leading them and stuff like that. And then these guys here are called the Salamanders. They're painted up in the green. These are character models. So normally character models will have like named character models. And these are specifically just for this chapter. And then there's other ones. Kind of like if you played the video game Space Marines and you're playing Lieutenant Titus, and he's part of the Ultramarines and he's all blue. And then there's an actual like model of him too. And then now they just made him into a captain, so now there's a new model of him. But it'd still be in the faction of Ultramarines. You wouldn't be painting them up green and putting them in the Salamanders. It just doesn't work that way per the rules. You can do it. It's not like you can't do it. There's nothing stopping you from painting Titus green, but you kind of like to stick things to the lore. Kind of like if you were doing like, this Games Workshop also has like Lord of the Rings miniatures, which they're really cool looking too. I like them a lot. So it's like, you would probably want to make your miniatures look like how you see them in the movies, you know. But then you could paint them any way you want to paint them. But most of the time you would kind of stick to what you see in movies and stuff. That would give you kind of more of a depiction of lore accuracy. Yeah, thank goodness, because I don't think I can do any more. So, unbeknownst to the wife, I was at the game store. I had to pick up more Rune Lord brass to finish up the Necrons, which I just today I painted up all the HQs with the Rune Lord brass, right? So I'm down to only like 18 units. And then I'll be done with Necrons. Like I don't have any more Necrons. They're all like HQs, so it's like 18 HQs. I got the big old Triarch spider dude to still do, and I got the Hexmark dude. He's kind of like an elite dude, and then all the rest of them are like HQs. Those are like your leaders in the army, and I'm almost done with all of them. And then after I'm done, we'll start working on. Well, most of it will be off stream anyways, but I'll be doing Dark Angels afterwards, and I'll be painting those things up. I'll try to keep a couple of them so we can paint on the stream. Same thing with the HQ. I think we'll do like, I think this dude's cool anyway, so we were gonna paint him all chrome. But he's a pretty good sized miniature. He's pretty large. But he's the Void Dragon. And he goes for the Necrons, and I think I might paint him up on stream when we got some time. After I'm done with the commissions, we can do that. Because there's no real big rush. And then maybe like one other Necron dude to do. And kind of be done with playing around with Necrons. Alright, so I'm going to do base colors first. So I'm just going to actually color everything in the way they're supposed to be, and then we'll work on midtones, highlights, because that brown is going to eventually turn into this like cream color here, and then the rest of the cape's going to be like this little red flesh stuff, and then the scales are going to be purple like these right here. Okay, so we're going to start off with dark crimson. Unfortunately, I would love to have dark crimson and not a gloss. It'd be so awesome to have like dark crimson as a matte. So for me to fix this issue, I pour it in, and then I'll do something that has a little bit more of a red brown. That's a matte finish. That's mahogany. And we're gonna lay this down and we're gonna mix these two together. And then it's gonna not be so gloss, it'll be more like a satin. And then when we do the highlight on it, we're gonna add another color to it, which would be your bright ivory. And this is a matte color too. And then that satin will drop down back into a matte because you're gonna oversaturate the gloss with matte and there won't be that much gloss in the paint anymore. I really prefer if they actually gave me a matte version of that crimson, because that crimson is a really good color. I really do like it. So I'm gonna take that, a little bit of the mahogany, take a little bit of that dark crimson, mix those two together. And it's really not changing too much of the color structure because they're so relatively close to each other. Probably Lower Brass and then monos, and we can't say it out loud right now because she's in the shower now. So, I was at the game store and this is the first time ever. You know, so I guess if the game store is holding on to boxes longer, you know, for a year or longer, they'll put a 15% discount on the boxes. And then I was like, oh, that's cute. And I'm like, if you drop another if you put another 5% on that, I'll walk away with your boxes. And so guess what? I got an okay for that. And so, in turn, I got two boxes that technically I don't need. Okay, so technically they're Sigmar boxes, but they had these big old 15% stickers on them, so they put 15% stickers on them. And then I was like, hey, if you give me another 5, and you know, if you give me 20%, I'll buy those boxes. I'm like, I'm not scared. You're like, you don't tip me. You don't tip me with a good time. You're like, I don't know. So I did get the Maggot Kin of Nurgle. And that one has like the really cool, the dude on the horse. So in here it has that dude. And I've been wanting that dude because I think that will be one of the figures that I'd like to actually put in the Age of Sigmar thing for like a competition piece. Okay. And then the other one was the Cities of Sigmar box. And I like the dudes. That's the thing. So I like the dudes. Like the Maggot Kin are kind of neat. Like technically I don't really need them, but the Maggot Kin are like really cool miniatures. I really like it. And then it has like that dude, and then it has like those big old giant caterpillar looking bugs with wings with these little nasty little dudes. Harbinger Decay, yeah, it's such a neat box. Even the little skeleton dudes on here are really freaking neat. So I'm thinking that I might try to use them. I'm thinking more so on the fact of maybe doing these as like more competitive, like more competition pieces, because they're so neat looking. And so the Cities of Sigmar, like I like the big old like giant dude that's like holding on to like he has like this guy that sits on top with like a rifle and stuff, and he's like they're kind of silly. And then you got this dude who's just like just chugging booze, dude. He's just like, we're ready for this, you know. Like I think it's absolutely hilarious. Like these things are so funny looking. So yeah, so they decided to give me 20% off of both boxes. And then the one thing I wanted to do was this character right here. I think doing like a character unit like that. Like there's a handful of them that like they all look really neat. Like this dude looks really cool looking. Yeah, it's like nifty chugging booze. But even still, like these dudes are really neat too. Like they got these like cool little shields, and I think these dudes are so neat. And then the horse guys look really cool too. So anyway, so yeah, so I picked up these two. And then I told them too, I'm like, anytime that you want to try to get rid of boxes, I'm like, I'm more than happy to get them. See, like they had some old world boxes. See, the thing was, I didn't really need much more old world. I wasn't going to put much investment into old world since I have such a huge Age of Sig or Chaos Warriors of the fantasy line. Like it's massive. It's like I have like 100 Marauders. Like it's like ridiculous. So I didn't really want to do another old world. So I didn't really want to do another old world. So I was figuring that those two are pretty cool because there's a couple miniatures that would be nice to actually do, and we'll probably paint them up in more of a competition kind of style paint jobs on those guys. So I think that would be a lot more fun in that aspect. I was just looking for things that I would like to actually paint instead of things that I'm like forcing myself to paint. And then on top of it too, getting the Corn Battle Force boxes that were for pre-order for yesterday's pre-order. I needed those boxes, so I did those. And then I have like an idea for the Harbinger of Decay. Just the name of that Harbinger of Decay, like the deal of that one will be is that he will be sitting probably on a slope in of like a hill slope, and there'll be a tree behind him, and then like half that tree will be dead, the other half will be like green growth, and the other half will be dead, and the area vicinity around him will be dead, but then you'll start seeing like real growth, like green growth and stuff, like live growth. So like he actually brings this decay that's like an aura that's coming from him, and things around him are dying, like as he's like walking through stuff, and like stuff around him is dying. So that's like the idea I have with the Harbinger of Decay. That was what I had in my mind when I was looking at that box. I was in there, I'm like, I will just take that. That'll be perfect. Yeah, when I knew that he was gonna give me a bigger discount on there, I was like, okay, like done deal, man. I'll clean the box out. I'll clean it out. Smoke Eater, what's up? How's it going? Sitting here trying to finish up this model here, and then when this model is done, and of course, I'll varnish it and everything, and then I'll get the other box of the Emperor's Children, break that box down, and then I'll have it all packaged up, and I'll send these guys plus those miniatures to you, and send them off. Get those things shipped out, I guess I should say. I'll get those things shipped out, so then I can get them out of here without any possibility of damages. And while I'm doing that, I'll send Rosie's model that she won. And get that shipped out too, so that I can make like a multiple multiple packages shipping out kind of deal. Picked up your Dark Angels Combat Patrol yesterday and got the free mini of the month. Well, nice. Nothing wrong with some free minis. Nothing wrong with some free minis. What was the free mini of the month for February? And tomorrow I gotta add on 5 units of Necrons to my eBay store. They've been doing pretty well. Pretty well, I gotta say. Not too disappointed in the Necrons. And the Necrons sold a little bit better than the Tyranids, but then also I didn't have a whole lot of Tyranids as individuals. I had them more like in combat patrols. And then I have like 2 more Necrons. I got the High Fleet Tyrant and the Parasite of Mortex to paint up, which I'll just be doing those off camera and put those on my eBay store. It's been doing pretty well so far. We had a good start of the year, so yeah, had a pretty good January. It wasn't bad. This thing gets a little bit complicated right here because I got so much obstruction. Yeah, well, when I got those 2 boxes, though, they said that I was late because they tagged on some boxes, some 40K boxes. I guess some older Battle Force boxes of 40K had 15% off. They said just like last week or so, and I missed out on those at the game store. So now that I know, I'll maybe start being a little bit more frequent at the game store. I try not to be out too much because I got too much to do. And it's even more difficult because I always stack even more stuff on me. Even though that school is relatively easy, but it's still just more stuff. So I have to do like 2 or 3 lessons like every Saturday for school to find the lighten up my week. Oh, that's nice. Now I'm going to take a little bit of that bright ivory. So I don't know if I should do bright ivory, actually. Do I have a lighter brown? I do got this camel brown. Let me try this with the camel brown. So I got a little bit of camel brown. See if this will help my situation a little bit here. Demon Smith is who I got, if that's what you were asking. I think it was January's free mini. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was asking to see what the free minis were. So I'm not gonna really go and poke in between the scales there. We're just gonna kind of work on the outside pieces here. There's like these little divots and stuff in the leather, dragon hide, whatever these things are, big giant lizard hides. Yeah, so I'm hoping I can finish up all these Necrons here pretty soon in the next couple weeks or so, and get all my Necrons. It's gonna be such a relief getting the Necrons done, and then hopefully be able to have the Necrons, Dark Angels, Custodes, pretty much all painted up. Over at the eBay store, that's where most of all my stuff goes. I was being very specific on which armies I'm planning on keeping and getting rid of. So those are the ones I'm going to get rid of. It's like you broke your kid, he does one mini and now making life-size paper cutouts of Pyre Blasters. That's awesome. Freaking awesome. Training him well, training him well. Training him really well. Do a wash over with the dark crimson. Looks like I missed a spot here. Better. Okay, now we need to start working on the scales. We're gonna start with Alien Purple. Like I said, I've been trying to burn up all these old paints that I have. And we might be using a lot of these purples here for the Fulgrim skin as well. I do like them a lot, so that's the reason why I'm thinking Fulgrim might have like a snake body. And then we'll do the magenta scales, but we're gonna test them all out on that demon prints to see where we're heading first. We're gonna make that Fulgrim last, work on that demon prints next. Right, this might take us a couple coverages. It's Army painter, so a lot of times when I'm dealing with Army painter, especially the older Army painters, I think the newer Fanatic paints are way better than these old ones. These old ones are very transparent. Difficult. We're gonna spread this to be able to touch the scales here. You know what the other funny thing is that on the GW site, those 4 Battle Force boxes are still able to be purchased, which is kind of surprising me. Did they finally get to the point where people are not clearing out those boxes anymore? Or did GW actually make enough to support how much there are, and then it cuts out the fear of missing out now? I guess we won't know until another set of Battle Force boxes. I bet you, well, probably not so much on the Red Corsairs, but I bet you that Corsair, the Eldar Battle Force box, I bet that one will probably sell out real quick. when that comes available. Yeah, well, here in the States they are. I don't know how it is over there in Canada. But here in the States, they're like still available. I was like, wow. I thought they would for sure be sold out. I'd figure that like Emperor's Children box would probably be sold out. Maybe the Thousand Suns would be sold out. I think the Corn box would probably be the least one to sell out. And then the Death Guard box, I thought for sure the Death Guard box would probably be the first one to go. And they're like all 4 of them are still available. And I'm like, we're going all the way into Sunday now. So that's been like over 24 hours and they're still available. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I don't know if there was something that changed in GW or they didn't make such a small limited amount or they actually have enough for carrying it over for some time. But then I'm not sure if that was like a good enough boxes to be sold out, or I think maybe the big one to be determined would probably be the Eldar one. Well, those boxes are, the boxes are $250, aren't they? So there's a $250 with, well, you buy them, well, like with me, I don't get anything larger than 15, so. Oops. Something like that. $37.50. 50 minus 37.50. It's like $212 a box if we do the 15% off. So 15% off would be about what is it, 212? Is that what I just said? $212 per box. Oh yeah, good call there. Up. Chaos. So what do you get? 12 Noise Marines, 10 Infractors, 10 Tormentors. What is it? 70. How are you doing that? One, two, three, four, five, six. I'm getting 12 Noise Marines. Demon Prince is $89. MSRP is $367 for the Emperor's Children box. $367 minus the $250. saving $117 MSRP. It's like $117 on a box if you're paying GW price. That's what, 3, 6, 7. So 3, 6, 7. That's a little over 30%. That's like 30% off GW price. Even if you got that 367, let's see here, that 367 times 0.15, if you're ordering it from there, that'd be $55. 367. 311. And what did I say? Minus the 212. Yeah, it's like exactly $100 savings if you did the 15% off on those. Well, I guess not too bad. So you're saving almost $120, 117 bucks in savings. Praying Mantis, you're saying that the Battle Force probably a little hard to find. They weren't listening to new releases or coming soon. I guess so. Because they're in there for the new pre-orders. That's true too. That's true too. Maybe they were just too close together from Christmas to dropping them right here at the end of January. In a month time, you dropped Christmas boxes like this within 2 months of each other. Or maybe people are still recovering from Christmas. So no one's really spending anything. I think they did do the Christmas box for Emperor's Children for sure, because that's where you have Fulgrim in the box. And then I know like Death Guard got like a new Combat Patrol box and a new character model, but I don't think they got a Battle Force box though. And I know that World Eaters for sure didn't get a Battle Force box, but I know that's kind of a tough box to push because you got all the demons in there. And not everybody's going to be running demons. And then Thousand Suns, I think maybe they're just on the lower end of niche liking. But I think they actually did they did the Thousand Suns Battle Force box, because I have that, because that's when they had the two little new weird robot looking dudes. So maybe it was just that they just didn't space them out long enough. Too many back-to-back Battle Force boxes of the same stuff. It could have been market saturation. Now I'm almost thinking probably is market saturation. Because pretty much everything got one. Like World Eaters got a new Battle Force box, which was a lot better Battle Force box last year, I think. When they gave me a new character model and then it had a whole bunch of stuff in them. The Gorefest Slaughterers or whatever it was, Battle Force box. And then 1,000 Suns got the new one. Like, pretty much every time they had a Codex, they had a Battle Force box with it. So maybe it was just too much saturation on it. And that could be it too. That could be it too. Everybody's kind of waiting for the new edition to see what they're gonna need and not need. That is definitely a factor to think in there. Definitely. Yeah. Or actually, GW actually made enough where it doesn't sell out in 2 minutes. So, and that could be that also. Or people are just kind of done paying high prices for miniatures. It could be that too. You know, maybe we're like, no, we're not going to be paying these high prices. You got to drop the prices down. Yeah, the Eldar box is going to be a great box, though. Like, that one there is probably a good one that's going to limp out for 2 boxes. Which I'm assuming that that's going to be coming here pretty dang soon because they're already, you know, they're releasing the Age of Sigmar stuff that came out of that announcement. So if they're already caught up on that, then it's making me feel like those things are going to be coming soon. Like, the one thing that I'm not really interested in is the Red Corsair box. Because I have so much Chaos stuff, like, already. Like, I don't need any more Chaos stuff. And I think it only has, like, 1 new unit, possibly 2 new units in the Battle Force box. But they look just like Space Bros. Like, they look like just like the Chaos Space Bros. Like, it's not appealing to me, not as much as the Eldar ones. The Eldar, like, almost everything in that Eldar box is brand new. And then, of course, yeah, the Custodes for the Horus Heresy box. But then that thing's going to be a box that's always going to be made. And that battle group box for the Custodes. It's not going to be limited like the Corsair one. Yeah, so there won't be any real rush on the Custodes because that's going to be a battle group box. So that's like a combat patrol box for Horus Heresy. The one that's going to be a limited box will be those Corsair box. which that would probably be one to go and shoot for 2 boxes for. Just because I feel like you would run 2 Venoms. Or that special one, like it turns into a Venom or it turns into the other one. And then also having those winged looking dudes that look like swooping hawks, but not technically swooping hawks. Doesn't look that bad. Not that bad. To convert some of the Black Legion you have into Corsair bits. But I'm like, you can get Corsair bits though. Like Pop Goes the Monkey Resin, stuff like that. Like you can get like pauldrons and insignias and stuff of red Corsairs. Actually, I started thinking about it. Doesn't the red Corsairs have the same thing as Imperial Fists? Do they have fists? I'm trying to think what the heck the red Corsairs have. Well, they look like fists or something. Right, they almost look like Imperial Fist insignias on them. And they're kind of somewhat painted like Flesh Terrors. Yeah, those new Raptors are awesome. For that new kill team, for those the Night Lord looking ones, those are great looking Raptors. Because that's what I was thinking of doing, is getting a bunch of Pop Goes the Monkey Resin, insignias. And then technically, like the Corsairs, like their upper torso bodies kind of look like one of the Heresy upper torsos, like that big flat piece. They don't have like the trim pieces on them. I almost feel like almost just getting some, well actually I think I have enough because I got so many freaking Horus Heresy miniatures. I could probably use the torsos from them for Corsairs if I need those, like those special looking ones. I don't know, they're like Raiders or whatever they call them. Take some more bright ivory. I'm going to mix it into that pile of mess that I have here. But yeah, Raptors look awesome. I do love Raptors. I definitely love Raptors. Too bad I got like 1,000,000 of the old Raptors. Feel like I got a sneeze coming. And then that model that I thought was gonna be Perturabo just turning out to being a friggin' whatever they're called. I was sitting there, I was like, oh, come on, guys. Like, they literally gave you like another, what the heck are they called when they're the ones that fix vehicles? They're called, oh, man, I'm drawing a blank now. Anyways, when that popped up, when they gave the reveal on that, I was like, really? Really? I'm like, you're not gonna drop us Perturabo? So in 10th edition, they just gave us Lionel Johnson and Fulgrim, I guess. I guess it would just be 2 Primarchs. Was Lionel Johnson in 10th, or was he in end of 9th? No, I think end of 9th was, that was Angron. So I guess in each edition, they're just gonna give us 2. Hopefully, hopefully the Adepticon will give us a kind of a hint of what's coming in 10th. See, that's why I'm like kind of in a mad struggle, like trying to get the Necrons all done. Got to get the Dark Angels all done so I can be done with them. Custodes, hit and miss here, like if I get them done or not. But I kind of hope to get the Dark Angels and the Custodes done before 11th edition drops, because if it's going to be orcs, then I can switch my gears over and then start painting up orcs and start selling off orcs. That'd be a good time to start getting rid of them. Right, Perturabo, yeah, especially when they drop that new the Iron Legion dude there. I was sitting there, I was like, oh, all right, well, maybe they'll give them some more love for the Iron Legion. Are they Iron Fists? Keep it like that. Gotta be careful. We're on this like course run right now of making this dude look more like Dark Angels. Too much cream and green here. Get the purity seals a little brighter. They're little toilet papers. The Iron Warriors, yeah, Iron Warriors. That's with them gold. That's with them gold. Well, it's kind of funny when they were just like, oh, what could this be? And you're just like, are you really bringing Perturabo? I was like, that's kind of cool. And it kind of looked like it too, because it looked like such a big model. There's a fake one going around about Perturabo still going to show his face. Well, definitely going to make the Iron Warrior people happy. So yeah, because I was thinking in 11th edition they'll be dropping. I would figure they would probably drop 2 loyalists more so than the demons, just to try to catch up for them dropping all 4 of the, you know, all the Chaos God ones. With Magnus coming out in 7th and Mortarion coming out in 8th. And then I think it was like starting of 8th is when you had Mortarion, and then they got Rebute Gilliman, I think came in 8th edition, didn't he? I want to say it was either 7th or 8th that they had Rebute Gilliman. And then they gave us like an 8th edition also. They gave us Abaddon and Despoiler, which he was a lot larger of a miniature. I can't remember if Karn the Betrayer came out in 8th. He might have came out in 7th. I can't remember 7th or 8th that Karn the Betrayer. There was a lot of like character models that came out. Then 9th edition dropping. We had Angron. We didn't have a loyalist in 9th edition. Or did Lionel Johnson get dropped at the beginning of 10th, or did he get dropped in 9th? I felt like at the end of the year was like that was Angron. Yeah, it'll get spoiled, leaked like all the other stuff. Yeah. I still up and down about if that's actually technically a true leak, or is that like a purposeful leak. Like, it's funny about these leaking stuff. Like, this leaking stuff like just happened recently in these last couple editions, you know? March 2023 at Adepticon. So the very end of 9th. Oh, that's when Lionel Johnson got dropped? They're right before 10th. Okay, yeah, so it came right before 10th. So in 10th edition, we just got Fulgrim. So now they're back to just dropping one Primarch per edition now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought was so weird about, like, really, would they drop another Chaos one? I'd figure that they'd give you a loyalist of some kind in 11th edition. Like, they'll either give you, like, Vulkan, or Lehman Russ. And then with this kind of weird, I don't know exactly what's tying in the lore-wise right now, currently. But if you're having Red Corsairs, you know, fighting with Eldar Corsairs, it could start getting tied up with the Webway, and Jagatai Khan could come back. Oh, so he was revealed okay, so he was revealed a couple months. Okay, so he was revealed in March for Lionel Johnson, and then they released him in 10th edition. At the very beginning of 10th edition. Okay. Hey, what's up, Sirius? How you doing? So technically 2 Primarchs in each edition. Except for 9th. The 9th had just Angron in 9th edition for the World Eaters. And then Fulgrim in 10th edition and Lionel Johnson. So yeah, 11th is going to be interesting because I feel like they'll give us another Loyalist, I would imagine, before they drop another Chaos one. Like literally dropping Perturabo. The crazy one is the Chaos Primarchs are all like alive. And then we have some dead Loyalist Primarchs. I really hope maybe they'll bring like Rugal Dorn would be cool. That would be awesome because I would put Rugal Dorn and my Black Templars in like a heartbeat. That'd be even cooler if they bring Rugal Dorn back and he only has like partial yellow panels and then all the rest of it's like black. So then you can have them as like Black Templars. Like the Templars found them. Yeah, Lion returned at the end of 9th, yeah, and the lore-wise, because he was battling against Angron. But wouldn't it be cool to have, like, Perturabo, if they're going to drop Perturabo, and then they bring Rugal Dorn back? Like, that would be freaking awesome. 7 stream streak, you're on a roll? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I want to play a game so bad. We're goodbye Lion in April 23, so before 10th. Okay, so we were by, so you were able to get Lionel Johnson in 9th. I want to play a game so bad, I just have too much to finish on these Death Company before I can. I'm going to go for Best Painted in 2026. There you go. I mean, shoot, you're already going to the tournaments anyways. Why not? Try to score up some victory points there. So we might have to buy a Primarch. I still need to get Lionel Johnson. 'Cause 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 I still need to get Lionel He is on there. I think I'm gonna try to get all the Dark Angels all painted up that I have, and then sell them all, and then from the proceeds of that, at least buy a Lionel Johnson. I've been wanting a Lionel Johnson for some time now. Because I have like all the Primarchs. Like I have all the Primarchs but Lionel Johnson. I don't have Lionel Johnson. I need to get him. The Combat Patrol, or I mean the Battle Force box that had Lionel Johnson, I wasn't able to get that box. Otherwise I would have had it. I would have had it. But I failed on retrieving it. I just couldn't get it. It sold out so stinking fast. That I had no other way of acquiring Lionel Johnson besides just buying them straight across. So yeah, I can see maybe getting another Primarch here. It'd be kind of cool. I still need to get Lionel Johnson because I do have all the other Primarchs. Just need to get Lionel Johnson. See, I was trying to convince the wife to take over the dining area so I can move all of this over to the dining area. And I would have there's a wall in my dining area that's a lot larger than this wall where I could put these shelves up there and then kind of high, and then you would actually be able to see how I'm painting. You would be able to see behind me the wall of the horrific shame that I have. And then underneath it, I was thinking of doing the full diorama of the siege on Terra and start just sculpting out the whole thing and have the big old diorama in the back there. So right behind me you would see nothing but the siege of Terra. And you'll have the fighting at the Lion Gate and the Mars Gate and all these different areas and what scenarios happened in each one of them, where you would have Fulgrim and Rugal Dorn fighting each other. And then having Karn the Betrayer being killed by Sigismund. And Angron just thrashing around like he was in a certain area. And then, well, actually it'd be Angron thrashing around and then having Sanguinius and Angron fighting each other. After having that big monstrous looking creature from Khorne that got killed. And then have both of them they were actually fighting Sanguinius. And then having over on the Lion Gate where you have Jagatai Khan fighting against Mortarion. It'd be kind of the coolest thing to use all of my freaking Horus Heresy's miniatures to put all in there. It'd just be one big giant freaking diorama. Like I'm pitching a lifestyle. I think it would be just cool as hell. We'll see how things come around. Like now that I'm trying to achieve some different kind of goals here in life, that maybe, just maybe, just being like trying to figure out how I can possibly achieve the factor of being a full-time content creator. But it wouldn't just be painting. Like I would have to keep this the way it is for the painting streams and stuff. But then if I'm doing full-time streaming, I don't think that I could make a full-out living with just painting miniatures. I think I would have to go into the gaming world again and start doing some more fun interactions and games again. But that would be like a completely different stream. And it would honestly probably just be like streaming 7 days a week. So I gotta try to figure out how to make that work. Since I'm not that good at video games, it would have to be more of a comical stream. More so than a pro stream or whatever. And just literally be a full-time streamer. But I think that'd be kind of cool to have in my background, all the stuff that I have there. You need it for content. Yeah, content, that's the excuse I use. Come around and see, yeah. Be like a little mini museum. Nargwan and Blood and Zeal still sealed. It was bought for content. Yeah, that's practically everything I have up here. There's same excuse, Bray Man. Same excuse. Here you go. Same excuse. All for content. All for content. Look at that. It's so high that I can almost barely touch the top of those boxes. But yeah. Yeah, they're all for content there. Like, yeah, like it's stupid. That shelf is good, dude. Those are steel pipes, dude. I made these things out of steel pipes, dude. Those are steel pipes, and they're lagged right into the 2x4s. Yeah. But yeah, we're getting damn close. It might break. I haven't even heard it creak yet, but we're getting damn close. It's getting damn close, so I have to say. Man, there's your closet in your studio. Shoot, my closet's all filled too. That has a bunch of random stuff. And then I have 8 30-gallon like tubs filled with built miniatures. That's like where all my Necrons were stored, Orcs were stored, Tyranids, all my built miniatures I have to keep the dust off of them. I put them in the bins. And then from there I had to put like every unit of groups of units of the same stuff all in like Ziploc baggies in the bins. So the whole bins are just filled. I have like 8 of them. It's terrible. It's so bad. But I'm like working on it. Like I'm doing like relatively like 500 pieces of. I am painting 500, relatively around 500 per year, and it's clearing it up. You're just not physically seeing it, but I am clearing up. Like it's a hard thing to see, but I am clearing it up. But on top of that too, like those combat patrol, like the magazines are like, those things are just a butt kicker and a half. Like every month I'm just getting so many miniatures, you know, it's just like holy crap. And I don't have any room to put those. Those things are just stacking. Like I just like finishing all the Necrons is finishing everything that came out of the Imperium magazine. The 9th edition, the Indominus box for 9th edition starter that came with the Necrons. So those and the Imperium magazine, I am 18 models away of finishing all the Necrons. Like all the Necrons are almost all done. And then the Dark Angels, I started that in the 10th edition dealio because I was planning on doing like Dark Angels, and then I changed my mind. So I'm gonna do all the Dark Angel stuff and just get them out of here. And then same thing with the Custodes. I bought the Custodes because I got like a 2-part box of Custodes, and then there was a Battle Force box of Custodes. So I don't have that many Custodes. I got like 40 Custodes. So I feel like that's going to be manageable enough to get those done and out of here. Still got to finish those last little bit of Death Guard. It's like 10 models. Like there's just 10 models of Death Guard. Finish those dudes up. I have to probably paint some of them on stream, so I have those kind of immortalized on the YouTube since I dual stream. So then you guys can see like this is how I paint my Death Guard. And then I still gotta do like, I gotta keep like 2. I'm gonna do the Void Dragon on stream, and I might grab like, I think I'll grab like a Lord, Scorpec Lord Destroyer, because I have 2 of those. And I might just put that on here, and this is like how I paint Necrons and how I do the blades and such forth, so I can immortalize those on the YouTube as well, so I can be like, yeah, I do have all the content of what I painted. And then I just do, because all the Death Guard that I did do, that was all just strictly on Twitch, not sharing with YouTube. So I don't have any YouTube videos of that. Yeah, the Million Model Challenge? Shoot, man, I know they brought that up, and I'm like, you know what, just in January, shoot, just January alone. Now, I don't think I did the Necron Warriors. I did those in December, so that was like 100 in just December. But let me see. I'm looking real quick. Just starting. Let's see here. What are my orders? January. That was December. So I actually finished those ones in December. So that's 5, 10, 15. That's 15. That's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. That's 35. I think 35, that'll be 40, 45, 50, 55. I think I did the Canoptic, the crypto throws. I think I did those in December though. That was 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. So I did about almost 50 miniatures, and I did 50 miniatures. I did like 50 to 55 miniatures in just January alone. Words are really nice. Yeah, like I guess they give you like a paintbrush case and some dice or something. I don't know what the heck they give you. I think the nicer stuff comes when you're introducing new people into the hobby for painting to a million. But it's like I think I finished like, because I finished up in January. Oh, that was partially December too, because I think in December I was working on the night haunts. Then January we finished up that girl, we finished up the lady, and then I was working on night haunts, and I know I probably finished another 15 or so models of night haunts in January alone. So I want to say I was like already about 60 models in just in January. Too late to get in on that and get some rewards. Yeah, because I think it was like for January and February, right? Or it goes all the way to March, right? Oh, it goes all the way to May. Okay. Never done except after the May 9th. To pin a slip mat for your paint cup and a paintbrush case. Now, that requires me to go to my local Warhammer store. And I normally don't make any appearances there. I normally go to my other local store instead. I go to normally my hobby store more so than I go to the Warhammer store. The only time I go into the Warhammer store is when they have their stinking exclusives that only you can get from their stinking store, is when I go and do the Warhammer store. Or if I absolutely miss something and I have to go in and pay full GW price at the Warhammer store, that's like the reason why I just don't normally ever go into those places. So, and I feel like it's a cool thing. Like, it's a cool thing to get like motivation for people. Like, I see the motivation process there. I'm just not motivated enough to go to the Warhammer store. Oh man, it's so hard to buy full price GW stuff. It has to be something that like you can no longer get anymore. I went to the GW store to buy the Lord of the Rings box set of the Fields of Pelennor or whatever it was called, like the very first like battle, like the big battle box of Lord of the Rings. Like, those are the only time that I buy Lord of the Rings stuff, is because I wait for the new box of Lord of the Rings that they're gonna have, like the army box stuff. Those are great deals. Like, those are great deals for Lord of the Rings. Like, I would never buy like Lord of the Rings like individual like units and stuff. Like, I'm buying those boxes. They got a lot of minis in them. Like, they got like 70 miniatures in that box. Like, it's awesome. They're small though. They're like old school, like old world kind of miniatures, but they're smaller, but you get like 70 something miniatures out of them. So I got like the Fields of Pelennor. I think that's what it's called. And then the second one was like the big fight of before they get to Gondor. I can't remember what the heck that place is called too. And then now they have the new one, which is the Lord of the Rings War of Rearim or something like that, however you say it. And that's the new box. But all your previous boxes are no longer existing anymore when the new one's out. Same thing like, you know, like Warhammer Quest, you know, like the Dark Waters came out. So now the other one is no longer around. Cursed City's no longer, you know, a valuable, you know, viable box to get anymore. Now it's just, you know, the Dark Water Warhammer Quest box. It's kind of the same thing with Lord of the Rings. Like they give you that big play box, and then now it's like the War of Rearim, which that's actually a really good box too. Like I feel like that has like 50 miniatures in it or something like that. Like it's like they're good boxes. So you're the Warhammer Store Hobby Champion. So okay, all right. Yeah, it works. Whatever works for anybody. I just always have a hard time because GW's, I mean, doing this for so long, for like over 20-something years. That's the reason why I'm having a hard time like buying like old world miniatures, because they were never that price like 20 years ago for the same miniatures. I can see paying full price for like the Cathy army stuff, because they're like brand new miniatures, but I can't see myself paying current prices for something that's 40 years old. So, but it'd be cool once I get into those. Those would be really neat. But yeah, I have a hard time paying full price GW price. I don't believe that the miniatures are worth the price that GW gives them. Since Rogue Trader? Okay, that's a good time. Yeah, that's a good long time. Yeah, but it's just hard for me to sit there and go 250 or 212. And then even that, like 250 is like a lot. Like I miss the days that Battle Force boxes were like 200 bucks. You know. Pretty soon it's going to get to a point where I can't afford GW anymore, and the only content I'll have is the content boxes that I have, because eventually I believe that once Battle Force boxes reach the $300, I think I'll be done buying miniatures. If Battle Force boxes hit 300, I'll be done with GW. Like I'll just keep what I have, sell what I got, and keep what I want. And I don't think I'll ever buy any more from GW, because you got to say like that 11th edition box is going to be $300. Like once it surpasses that 300, I'm no longer interested in it no more. Yeah, it's just it's not even reasonable to even spend money on it anymore. Yeah, it's the same here. Like my local stores, I have to order all my stuff online. Like majority of my local stores don't give any discounts. Even the hobby stores, the GW stores. So I have to do all my orders online that offer 15% off. Like that helps. Like it helps. Like I need something that like slightly helps to keep me still in this hobby. But like I know for sure that 11th edition box will be $300, like hands down. They got away with it with Horus Heresy with the Age of Darkness boxes. They were $300, and we paid it. And so I know dang well that 11th edition is going to be $300 box. They're going to put a $300 price tag on that box. And then that'll probably be the last edition that I'll ever buy. Will be 11th edition. And then that would be it. Because I think if it goes any further than that, if they go like 325, it's not even worth it to me anymore to even do that. Yeah, it's going to be a $300 box. Like, for sure it's going to be a $300 box. And once it gets over 300, like, in the next 3 years, it'll be a $325 box. Your Battle Force boxes are going to be $275. And it's just forcing me out of the hobby now. So I'm going to have to change up my dealio. Start painting Conquest models. Because you can buy a whole entire army for $400. But yeah, it's gonna get to the point where I'm not gonna be doing it. Well, paint what I have. I mean, I got a lifetime worth of miniatures to paint anyways. But I won't be buying any more boxes. It'll be the end of buying boxes. It'll be done with me in the hobby. I'll keep the armies that I want and want to keep, and then from there, it's just gonna have to go with that. I just can't see myself buying any more way overpriced plastic miniatures. I don't care what excuses or what reasoning they have for their plastic is just plastic. And I will be done. I will be done. Yeah, it's gonna be like 400 Canadian. That's why I would only get before I would be able to buy. Spending $400 gives you like 2 boxes, you know. That's cost per head. Yep, yeah, prohibitive. Yes. It's gonna be just too expensive. It's gonna be so expensive. And then when it gets to that point, maybe, and just maybe, because I don't know, maybe there's enough people out there that make enough money that are in this hobby that the price doesn't bother them. But I'd imagine that eventually it's gonna tank. You're gonna lose that lower end. You're gonna lose that lower income people that are in the hobby. They're gonna change things. They're gonna start doing more 3D printed stuff. Like, I just know that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be cheaper to 3D print miniatures that are relatively close to the miniatures that you have to play with. And there's going to eventually be a time in GW where that bubble is going to pop, and they're going to have to start readjusting prices. Yeah, like, it was expensive when boxes got over $100. Like, when boxes started getting like 100, 125, yeah, 100, 125. That was expensive back then. That's an expensive box for $100, $125. And I remember, because I remember my Combat Patrol, which they were just Army starter boxes back then, when I got my Chaos one. This is back 3rd edition. That was a $50 box. That was a $50 box. And they were a little bit bigger, like Army starting boxes. And they were just like Combat Patrol boxes. But yeah, they were like $50, I wanted to say, when I got my Chaos Space Marines way back in the day. And yeah, it was like $50 for that box. And then now they're $180 for a Combat Patrol box. Like, in my eyes, I'm sitting there, I'm like, this thing is getting so out of control now. Oh, 100%, Darth Rosie. Like Armand's starting to see the cycle of money coming into him since I've been selling all the Necrons, because he pretty much bit. He built like majority of all my Necrons. So now that all my Necrons, the ones that are selling on eBay, now money's cycling to him. And he's just like, oh, I'm like, yeah, see, you're getting rewarded for your achievement of building all these miniatures for me. And so, I mean, he built like almost all those Necrons, with me doing just like a little bit of help here and there. And now the money's cycling, and he's just like, well, you know, how can I get paid more? And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you keep building them, we'll keep them in a pile that Armand built. You know, like Armand built my models, and then you keep them in a size over here. And then while I'm working on it, I'll mark them, which ones that you built and whatnot, and then I'll pay you off every time that they sell. And now it's like piquing his interest, because it's quite a bit of coin going his direction. That's the big kicker there. Now, if they charge me a Battle Force box that's $250 and it's freaking fully built, 100%. 100% right there. I'm like, heck yeah, if I don't have to build them. But that's part of the hobby, and well, people like building them, and blah, 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 blah. You're like, oh, no. No, not when you built over 1,000 miniatures, thousands of miniatures. You don't want to build anymore. I have to be like in that feeling of wanting to build stuff. Like I have to be in that rhythm where like literally like painting is completely exhausted out of me. And then I'm like, I need to take and that happens very rarely. That happens like that happens like 2 weeks out of like 3 years that I sit there and I go, I am exhausted from painting, like completely wiped, and I actually take a 3-week break from painting. This happens once every 3 years. And then I'll sit down for 3 weeks and I build every day a plethora of the inventory that I have. And then I put them all in my box ready for painting, and then I'm back into painting again. But I do that once every 3 years. Like 3 weeks in 3 years. Like that 3 weeks in a row. Like I won't paint during my stream. The only time I paint is during the streams. I won't paint off stream. I won't paint at all. I'll just be building for like 3 weeks. But now I got such a huge inventory of built stuff that I don't think I'll take a break for some time. So, but yeah, it's to the point now where I am absolutely exhausted from building miniatures. I hate it. And there's a lot of people that like building them and not painting them. And I really miss that Canadian eBay buyer that I was buying majority of all my miniatures from him. Like I was paying pretty good price. Like it was pretty much the price of like what those miniatures are from GW price, and they were built, and they were built efficiently, like nice. They're not just clipping them out of the sprues and gluing them together, no scraping or anything of that nonsense that I've bought miniatures from. Like these ones were like nicely scraped. They filled them in. A lot of them had like a bunch of them had like all the seam lines all filled in and stuff with like sprue goo and stuff. They were fantastic. Like I bought like all my Hell Drakes already built from them, and it was like Canadian. It was from Canada that I was buying them from, and they were awesome. Like the Hell Brutes, like all these things. I bought all of them pre-built. They were like built and primed, so all you had to do was just take them out and paint them. They were perfect. They were perfect. I was sitting there, and then now I can't find the seller anymore. So maybe that person stopped. Maybe the miniatures got too expensive and then stopped doing it. but those were awesome. Like full price, full GW price for a built and primed miniature. All you had to do is just take it out and just start painting it. It was wonderful. And I had about like a year and a half of that. And then that person disappeared anymore off of eBay. I don't know what the hell happened. Model bodies, and all I had to do is just pick weapons and arms or whatever. Yeah, like the majority of the body's done, and you had to just do weapons. But now they're getting to the point now where like weapons really doesn't really matter that much. Like power weapons are just power weapons, so it wouldn't matter if it was a power axe or a power sword or a power maul or whatever the hell it is. It's still just a power weapon, so I could care less, unless it was like something specific for like the pistol. If you wanted it to be like a plasma, a furnace pistol, or just a regular heavy pistol or whatever it was. Only have so much time on Earth. Exactly. I only want to spend that time I have left on painting and playing. Yep. Yeah, you can build at work and no one cares. That's nice. In a box, it's like 20 bucks. That's still a lot for a whole army. It is. See, like my son's like half of that. Pretty much, well, and that's why I'm selling them. Like I sell my miniatures for an extra $10 because like that extra $10 goes to my son. So I sell all my miniatures with an extra additional $10 on everything. And then he's literally getting like $10 per unit of how I'm selling things. So yeah, but it can get expensive, especially if you have, you know, if you're starting to look at, 20 units. Because most armies are having around, most armies have roughly around 20 units, right? Like minimum is 20 units. So you're going to be paying like $200 in just a full 2,000 point army with about 20 units. So that's quite a lot when your miniatures already cost you about, anywhere between $500 to $700 for your entire army, and then you're paying an additional $200 for them to be built. You're looking shy of $1,000, And then when we're already complaining about how expensive the miniatures are, we have to take the sacrifices of building these stinking things. And then my problem is that I'm like super OCD on freaking miniatures, so like I start not doing well when I see like the actual seam lines not scraped or whatnot. It's hard for me to paint on a miniature when I see that. Yeah, so they probably won't get every mold line on the sprue that were $2 a model. Like that thing needs to be scraped. I better not see seam lines. See, my son collects percentage off of the miniatures being sold. So some miniatures will actually sell more than others, so he would actually make more off of certain miniatures. And now that he has this big old freaking wad of cash, I need to start working on getting him a bank account. It'd be easier for me to transfer money that way to him. what's up, Hecatone? How you doing? Yeah, it's some salamander love. Working on these stinking scales. We're almost there. I'm hoping to be mostly finished with this thing here in the next hour or so. Just kind of tracing up all the scales here. There's a lot of scales. Come on. Yeah, that Warhammer Quest Darkwater box does look awesome. It is a cool box. Well, actually, if it turns down the road that GW gets too expensive, the big deal is that I would just have to figure out how to work for a game store to get a discount from for the miniatures. That's where the be the big one right there. If I can work for the store, I would do that. Like work like 1 day a week. I would be stoked. There we go, got all the scales done. Okay, now that's done. That looks good. Do like one more layer. On this fabric. Yeah, it's coming around. It's looking pretty good. He doesn't look half bad. Doesn't look half bad. Doesn't look that bad. We're close. Very, very close to being done with this. Okay, now let's go and get that rest of that purity seal done, because it's the one and only one that we got hanging there. Heck yeah. A little love over there on YouTube, I appreciate it. Trying to shoot for 1,000 follows over there. I appreciate that immensely. What was I looking for? Yeah. All right. I think I might just, once that part's done, work on finishing the head, get the head put in place, and then start working on the backpack and get the backpack in place. Because then all I'd have to do is work on the flames here and the blade, and that'll be like my last couple things I gotta do is like the flames on the top of here, and the sword and the flames here. Get the object source lighting going, and then it'll look like Adrax. So Adrax looks pretty good here. The crazy amount of OSL that was just ringing off of this model. And then get the same kind of an object source light on this one too. Okay, so gold? Oh, there it is. All right. All right. Well, let's go swap over here. Another coat of black. And you gotta get the head looking right. Nice, easy stuff here. Easy that I can do. And then be done with Vulkan Histon. I think he still might need a partial stream to be finished with him. We're close though. Be nice if I can get him completely done, but I've been kind of cutting my stream just a slight bit short so I can enjoy kind of the rest of my day. I'm so busy all the time now. Or my Sunday, well, my Sunday's like my only like free moment of life that I have left now, since Saturdays are consumed by doing school work now. To an extent, yes and no. I don't think I'm actually, because it's February, it's still a little too early to start working on some of my jobs. So normally I always get like this week anyways, the beginning week of February off. Because it's not quite yet ready to go back into, it'll be tree injections this time of year. But we're close. We're close. It might still be another week, and that's just because it's just the timing of things. I was really not, but I should be good and functioning back to work tomorrow. But I don't think there's any kind of work to be done until the next week, the following week. But we're gonna get close. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to work. After this big break from work that I've had since the surgery, I don't even want to go back to work. Like, I feel like just quitting. Like I just don't even want to do it. But I have to until the stinking mortgage is paid off. I think after the mortgage is paid off, I can literally give the bird to everything and not have to do anything. And the main goal here is to get the house paid off. And I will sling any kind of drugs to get the house paid off, I tell you what. As early as I could possibly get it to pay off would be great. Like you do all those little like minute things that normally shave off like a few years off your mortgage, and I've been doing that forever. And still, it's such an eternity kind of a loan. This takes a million years. Like 30 years even feels, like 30 years is like your entire life. It's like half your life. this. Gotta get that stinking house paid off. And that's why I'm going back to school to learn how to do my HVAC stuff so I can replace my HVAC stuff. And just like a series of crap to do. It's not even pleasant. Not even remotely pleasant. Really tough because you're trying to get that coal look on the face. Yeah, my way of doing coal is more like blue. So Payne's Gray is like my favorite fan of this. And I'm just trying to add more gray into the matter. Like black's okay, but then like black, like coal black kind of has kind of a multitude of colors here, so. But Payne's Gray is like my favorite. You can go like coal black into Payne's Gray is like my favorite. Okay, now we're gonna take heavier into the warm gray, real heavy in the warm gray. These are gonna be my little bit of a highlights that I'm gonna just emphasize on his face. Kind of see like his face lights up a little bit, but we're still kind of relatively keeping the concept of having, okay, I guess it's not a good term though, but keeping his coloration into that coal black color, but then also giving some characteristics of Good face there. Now, we gotta dip right into his, well, we got two eyeballs. This one for sure is always red anyways, because it's a lens. But then this one here, they have red eyes. Okay. We're gonna need some silver. I'm just gonna go straight bright silver because it's already dark enough. All you need to do is just kind of bling out the little studs in his head. So nothing too crazy. I feel like there's a couple other things that we can do with this silver. Okay. I'm going to edge these things up just a touch too. Very pretty. Okay. And then we'll emphasize on those eyes just real quick, but there's a couple things I wanted here. That there, another one right here. Felt like there was another spot. Right here. Okay. I think that's good. Okay. Now back to his head again. And like I said, there ain't a lot going on here, so you can put a pupil in his eye, you can go without a pupil in his eye. You don't really need a whole lot in there. Back in that black again. Eye in there. Head looks solid. I need to go grab the glue. I left the glue out in the other hobby station. I'll be right back, guys. I'll probably grab another soda. Okay. Man, my wife went to a baby shower. It's actually my neighbor's daughter that's having a I had the baby. And wonder if they're gonna like the present I made. Cause it didn't take very long, but like we got like a bunch of baby yarn, like the super soft yarn, like the big thick yarn. And then I finger knitted a whole blanket. Because I think newborn babies always need blankets. They always need blankets. So I finger knitted it's called finger knitting. And then you sit there and you're like pulling like a bunch of loops through it and stuff. It was actually not that bad. It was actually, that's probably the way to make blankets actually. And so I'm kind of curious to see when the wife gets back if how they like their blanket. Yeah, I enjoyed actually doing the blanket so much. I was thinking about making like a Warhammer blanket for my living room. I make the pattern and then like sell the patterns. You're like, this is how I made a World Eater blanket and a Blood Angels blanket. There's a Black Templars blanket, just like a big black blanket, and just has like the big old fist on there. Something really weird about this super glue. Wow. This stuff is ridiculous. Oh, there's this big old. I have to order another thing of super glue. I think I ruined this one. Solid, looking solid. Cool. Got some issues. I got issues. Sorry, I'm choking to death right now. I don't know what's wrong. Tries to start. See you Tuesday. Absolutely. You have a good one. You have a good one. I'll see you on Tuesday. All right. Now we're going to be utilizing that same Payne's Gray that we got. We're going to brighten it up a little bit with the pale yellow, or bright ivory, sorry. Bright ivory. I'm trying to brighten it up. That perfect. All right, now we're just going to be edging this thing up. Don't know if I want that black. Probably make that silver. Excuse me. Dying here. Okay, let's see if we can do a double edger on this. I can actually get. See if we can hit this right. Okay, there's 2. See if we can get all 3 in one shot. Almost. Not bad, not bad, not bad. So close, but somewhat far away here. I think this is probably the most edge highlights you do on a Space Bros, their backpacks. Especially when a backpack is just solid black. You really got to put like, you got to really Tron it out so you make sure you got the good shape on it. You kind of know what it is. Then I like making a bunch of little hash marks and stuff for dome pieces. Like that. Oh, missed a spot here. Perfect. I'm doing a little bit up here too. A little bit here. That. Perfect. Now we can get this all as one. The best one here. Where are you putting this thing right? I don't think we're gonna have any relative trouble here. Looks pretty good. All right, let's do it. Let's get this glue bottle that don't want to work. That's causing me a fit. I think I'm gonna order like, instead, these are like 1 ounces, aren't they? Yeah, I'm gonna order like 50 ounces, like half an ounce. Gee whiz, yeah, there's something up with this glue. It's like just thick as paste. I'm just worried about this thing like popping and then blowing super glue all over and ruining the miniature. I'd be extremely upset. Come on. Know your place, backpack, and stay where you're supposed to be. Oh, it doesn't even want to go in there. What the hell? Purpose though. That's better. All right, now we've got a backpack on it. Back this this up a little bit. Okay, so now we got multitudes of things we got to work on here. One, we got to get the blades looking solid and not and before I forget, I'm just going to order glue. I need super glue. I guess I'll just order this. We'll see what happens. Because I think with the big bottles that I don't glue enough stuff, so then it just kind of turns into crap. Okay. All right. Now let's start getting things down to the final countdown here. I like this. A little bit of decayed metal. Let's go ahead and get all the gold and silver and all that stuff that we're planning on doing here. Don't need a whole lot of it. I just threw down that color. We just did the dwarf gold. We're going to throw a little elven gold. Like I said, I've been trying to use up my scale 75 true metallic metals. Nothing like there's anything wrong with them. I got too many stinking paints, and I'm just trying to cycle through all my paints and just like actually utilize them and get them done. And then I'm doing white gold. Golly, I don't even want to come out of there. I think I'm almost out of white gold. That's what the thing is. All right. Clean some stuff up. Using this decayed metal first. I don't know if I want to go an additional hour. I put myself at 3 hours, which I'll be done in about 15 minutes or so. But I may carry myself a little longer. We'll see what happens here. I'm really close. But I could take this all the way to Tuesday and finishing up Tuesdays. And get Tuesday done. Finish this up and then start working on the Emperor's Champion Demon, which would be nice. Oh, we can't. We'll have to finish this up and start working on the end of the month giveaway piece. So I got to do the rat prints. We're gonna do the rat prints, and then I gotta make a scenario base with it being in a sewer with a light source coming in one direction, and then the shadow of that of him would be a big rat creature on the wall. That's the idea on that one. Still want to execute the process of making shadows and shadow effects. So that would be the deal. So I probably will close up shop here in a few minutes. Let me get like all the gold and everything kind of relatively placed where I want it to be. And then we're gonna need a little bit of silver. Dark silver, I have the bright silver ready. I need the dark silver. Just a smidge. Smidge, dark silver. What did I do with the bright silver? Bright silver. Actually be good and put my paint back. And then we'll go, well, it's relatively dry. We'll go into the dwarven gold. Actually, before I actually work on that, let's go ahead and hit a little bit of this Flula orange. I'm gonna go into this fluorescent orange. Since it takes so long for this stuff to dry anyways. Give me a good big brush, number 2 brush here. Okay. Gotta go into the elven gold now, and that's just for this head right here. There. I'm gonna take the white gold. Oh, wrong color. Dwarven gold looks like I'm missing some pieces here. Pretty good. Needs to dry for a little bit. It needs a second coat of the orange on that top part of the backpack. And then all I have to do is just flames, like all the flames. Like the rest of the model is like done. This needs a wash. And then now it's gonna be doing the glow of the blade, the flames, and the flames down here. We just need to fix that up a bit. On the bottom, blade, and the top. And I think I might leave that for Tuesday, and then we'll get into working. I'll start either printing some stuff for this miniature here, because this is going to be the end of the month giveaway model for February. Just doing the wrap prints. We're going to be doing a lot of like Age of Sigmar. I have like tons of, this wasn't a commemorative model. It was just a duplicate that I had. And so I figured that I'll just use this. We'll put it in a sewer kind of scenario. And we'll try to make it where it kind of somewhat fits on a base this big. Maybe. I'll have to print out another plinth. And this one here, I don't think I'm going to do a backdrop. I don't think. Maybe I'll do a backdrop. We'll see how it goes. I think I could probably make it without the backdrop. If we just continued something up above, like right here, I think it'll look kind of cool. But maybe I'll just print out a regular plinth. And that'd be kind of neat. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Looks like the crackle paste worked really good from Huge Miniatures. I have to say it like that. Has to be said that way. Can't be said any other way. This Huge Miniatures. But that crackle paste worked really good. And then we just gotta get the flames working. But we're almost there. I may have to hold everything off until Tuesday because it takes forever for this fluorescent paint to dry. There, let me go and hit a little bit more. Let's go ahead and try to make this a little bit darker if we can. Not working. Let's get the hair dryer out. The good old friggin' wifey's hair dryer. Stolen by yours truly. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. It'll eventually look like this one. So this one's Adrex. It's a different model, but you know, same kind of outline that we're planning on doing here. Okay. So it's gonna look like this model. Okay. And then this one's gonna look just like it. We just gotta feed in the OSL, and then we're gonna darken it up a touch, and then this thing will be ready to go. But they're gonna be relatively the same. And these things were all commission pieces. And then my next two commission pieces are gonna be Emperor's Children stuff. So we got a Demon Prince and Fulgrim. And there's gonna be a lot of purple and magenta pinks and all sorts of stuff that we're gonna be doing with that one. And these ones are the Salamanders. They're green and trying to dry out this fluorescent paint. It just has such a tough time dry. It's just cold and things just don't want to dry. So I'm hitting it with a hair dryer right now just to try to flash dry that paint real quick so I can put the second coat on, and then I'm kind of done painting for today. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my Sunday. And then we'll be back heavy on it on Tuesday, finishing that, and then kind of work up on the wrap prints. And we'll work on that one for the end of the month giveaway. And then after I'm done with the wrap prints, then we'll go to the Emperor's Children and work on those commissions until they're done. Yeah, but this one's gonna need just one more day. One more day. One more day. Just a partial stream. It's not even gonna take a whole stream to finish this thing. It's gonna just take a partial stream. Oh yeah, there we go. Now it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Just trying to make it darker. What's that? Like a chunk of something. Another chunk of something. Where are these chunks of stuff coming from? Look at that, found another chunk of something. Nice and dark. It's hard to tell when my lighting and everything is making this stuff like glow way more than it actually is. Nope, did I put it for 4 hours? My thing not gonna scream at me? Oh, I did. Alright. I don't know if I want to continue another hour. I need to stop so I can start working on making dinner for me and the boy and me and the family. Little bit of salamanders. This has been a blast. I like painting something that's just not ultra bros. Painting some salamanders is nice. That was fun. It's not done. We still got to do a lot more. Still not done. But I think I might hold this off until Tuesday, and then I need to start working on getting stuff like ready to prep for this model. So I gotta start prepping for this thing too. I need to print a bunch of stuff off the 3D printer and try to make things work a wee bit more on this. There's a bunch of rat tails. These are the rat prints for the Soul Blight Bleep Blops for Age of Sigmar. Well, we didn't technically get yelled at by Russell Korn, but I think I might call it quits here, guys. Do I have anybody to raid into today? I don't know. We'll find out. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to call it quits today. I do appreciate you all coming and hanging out with me on this Sunday. It's been fun. We got lots done. Vulkan Histon is all together. We just need to do all the flame works. So I'll do that on Tuesday. We'll do all the flame works because we got to reintroduce the whites and then get the yellows in there. And then we got to do like the red, orange, and possibly black tips on them. We'll see how it goes. We might go without the black tips. Maybe a little bit of black tips. But other than that, dude, we'll get this thing all wrapped up and then get the sword and everything all glowing. And then we'll start introducing the object source lighting, the heavy object source lighting throughout the whole miniature and stuff. So that'll be really nice. Hecatone, you have a good evening as well. Thank you guys so much for coming hanging out with me. I do appreciate you guys over here on Twitch, follows, and subs and resubs. Thank you guys, appreciate that. And then over on YouTube, if you're seeing me over on YouTube, make sure that you like the video and then make sure that you're subscribing to the channel over there on YouTube. I really do appreciate the support there. Trying to work on that Destiny grind. Is that Destiny grind all the way to 1,000? We're making good pace. If I can just get, even if it's 1 or 2 every stream, we'll be doing pretty well. We'll be flying through there. So if you guys give me support over there on YouTube, I need to get to that 1,000, and then I could probably introduce something a little bit more interesting into YouTube. If we're doing like end of the month giveaways like I do over here on Twitch, I can integrate that over there into YouTube and maybe do a dual giveaway. We'll see how it goes, but I still got a lot of time ahead of me, so we'll keep grinding in that Destiny grind to 1,000 there, and I do appreciate you guys. Like, thank you. Shout out to the sponsors above. You can use those commands in chat or exclamation mark. I don't think I have any mods, so we're just gonna do this. So we're gonna sit there, exclamation mark sponsors, or you can use the commands above. You're more welcome to use those affiliate links, discount codes as much as you like. You also have my Discord. Let's see. My Discord, it is also over there. My sponsor affiliate links are there, so you can use the links, discount codes as much as you like. Save on those hobby dollars while we can, because everything is getting really expensive down the road anyways. So utilize what we got and see where we go. Also, I have my eBay store, exclamation mark eBay, or you can go, it's on there on Discord as well, and you can put the command in the chat for eBay. It takes you over to my eBay store, or you can go on eBay and look me up for Wicked Minis. Mostly everything that I do paint on my stream, I put over on eBay. It's just another thing to support my stream. If you guys want to actually like buy miniatures, you can just buy miniatures. I try and make it so it doesn't break the bank. They're really nice miniatures. And they're good for your gaming tabletop, and another way of supporting the stream also. So it all comes back into the stream. It doesn't go anywhere else but here. So I do appreciate that when you guys do. Let's see here. I got, of course, if you're over here on YouTube, exclamation mark YouTube, come and give me a follow over there. I really do need the support on that end as well. So thank you guys, and thank you guys for watching over there. And also on my socials, exclamation mark socials, you can follow me over on Instagram and stuff. I do need to start working on my socials a little bit more. I got a million pictures I need to put up there, but it just takes time like anything else, and I will start getting things up there as soon as I can. But other than that, that's pretty much my spiel. Thank you guys. I do appreciate it. Let me go refresh my Twitch. Let's see who in the heck is out and about. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm gonna go here. Let's go and raid over to Hoodguard. He's another great. Hey, he's a fantastic artist. Let's go over there. Another fantastic artist. See what he's up to. See what he's painting on. I think he just started, so I think he's working on Salamander Love. So I think this works perfect on what we're gonna be doing there. So thank you guys. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me on this Sunday. I will let you guys be. You have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and I'll catch you guys on Tuesday. Till then, take care.
This in the next couple of days, so I'm behind schedule, but that's okay. Hello, Emilio and Wicked Minis coming in with the raid